Are you in the market for a vertical standing power chair but with mid-wheel drive? Well, stay tuned to this video review. Hey, I'm Alex with Marc's Mobility, and in this video we're going to show you a very rare chair to find gently used. This is a Permobil MVS, not the FVS. This is the MVS, which is a mid-wheel driven Permobil standing chair. So these are very, very hard to find. There's a decent bit of the front wheel driven standing chairs on the market, but a mid-wheel drive chair means you're going to have your 14-inch solid drive wheel directly in the middle of the chair, within your 7-inch caster wheels in the front and the back, which are also solid. But mid-wheel drive is going to turn in a lot smaller of a turning radius. So to still be able to have the standing function, but being able to have a mid-wheel drive chair makes these chairs very, very desirable. So I know I will not have this chair for very long. This particular unit here has 60 miles on it, so this was not used very much at all. Once again, it is going to have that vertical standing that we will show you here shortly, but I'm going to go over some other things on the unit as well before we get to the standing function. So what this chair also has is this is also going to have a 12-inch seat lift. So you see how this chair will begin to rise. Now, one other thing I want to mention to you as well is the Permobil mid-wheel drive vertical standing only has a 265-pound weight capacity. So you might see some of the other Permobil models that have 300 and sometimes 330. I do want to let you know that the MVS only has a 12-inch seat lift and a 265-pound weight capacity. So there's a few differences between the F standing and the mid standing, but overall why it's desirable is because of that tight turning radius. Now this is what you're going to be looking at here with your seat all the way elevated, and you're still able to drive it at a relatively good speed when you're elevated. I will check that speed outside just to confirm, but this chair will go about 6 miles an hour when it's all the way down. Sometimes you got to kick your legs out a little bit in front of you to get that full speed, but you should be somewhere around that 6 mile an hour top end speed package. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring the chair back down. I'm using right here what they call the ICS, or a switch box. So you're able to do everything through the joystick, or you can do it right here behind on the switch box. So you're able to do the standing and then the other functions that I'm going to show you here, which are going to be your electric legs, your electric tilt, and your electric recline. So this is what you're going to look like when you're in the down position. One thing I want to mention about the ICS box, when your buttons are green, it means you're able to go full speed. If they're yellow, it's a reduced speed. And if they are red, it means you are in a restricted position. So you need to get more of an upright position to be able to get the full speed. So the next thing I will show you here is going to be the electric recline. That is pretty straightforward. Oop, that was not the recline. Let me get to it here. The electric recline here, which is pretty straightforward. That's going to be basically your back going back. So just imagine if somebody wanted to lay back in the chair and sleep, we'll show you this, how you can recline back. And then I could technically at the same time, if I wanted on the switch box, go ahead and start to begin to elevate the legs as well. Now, most likely the knee block's on there, but nobody's in this chair currently. So typically the knee block would come off. Only time you're really going to use the knee block is when you're in a seated position, or when you are going to be in that standing position, because that would probably not be comfortable trying to elevate your legs if the knee block's kind of tight on your knees. But this is kind of what you're going to look like here in that lay flat position. Now this is the standing bar that's going to go across your chest, so once again easily removable as well. So technically you would not need the knee block or the chest brace while you're in a reclined position. And once again, my ICS box is showing red on the recline symbol, so that means I need to bring my back more upright to be able to operate this chair. So I'm going to get the back up, and then I'm going to show you the next feature that is also probably the second most important feature on this chair behind the standing function, is going to be your electric tilt. So electric tilt, let me get the back up a little bit higher and then I will show you. That is going to be where the back and bottom begin to go back at the same time. So basically you would see here what's going to happen is this is taking gravity and is allowing to take the pressure off the lower half of your body, and it's going to start to apply your weight to the back. So that's going to help increase circulation throughout the lower half of your body. And you will see here, like in this position, you'd be able to get your feet above your heart as well. Now, one other function you're not able to do through the ICS box is standing chairs have it, and occasionally other chairs have it as well. But this has the VS legs on it, so you can see how those legs are extending out. So you have the ability to lay flat, and now every once in a while you've seen somebody in a chair before, they're laying flat and their knees are kind of bent and they're not straight flattened out. So it's adjusted to your height, but still going back in certain recline or tilted positions. It does kind of shift where you're sitting. So that's a very nice feature to have, where your foot plate is able to be adjusted in or out. I think it moves about 4 inches based on the whole position that it's sitting in. So once again, you can move that, but that does have to be done through the joystick. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring the tilt back down. And on some other Permobil chairs, you would be able to do tilt and legs at the same time, but because this is a standing chair and it has that standing function, your fourth switch on this ICS box actually kind of rotates through the 3 other buttons. So you would have to do those independently, the tilt and the legs, to get back into a normal seated position. So let me bring those back in. Now I do want to let you know this does have the latest electronics on this. This unit was actually manufactured in February of this year, so it's 2025. So this unit is really only about 7 months old, 6-7 months old. So once again, it will have all the newest electronics. The screen has been updated a little bit bigger, and it has a little bit more of a battery digital gauge on there as compared to just having the color readings. So I've showed you the seat lift, the tilt, the recline, the electric legs, and I showed you the vertical standing legs. Now the last function to show you would be the standing function. So this is able to be programmed to stand people up in different ways, but I'm just going to do what is on here on the natural programming of the chair. I'm going to hold the standing button, and you'll see how the legs, the back, and the seat lift all kind of work together at the same time. Now I guess because you would have a standing chair, you would consider this is probably going to have some type of anterior tilt on it as well, but most people are not even going to need the anterior tilt. They're going to do more of a standing function to get out of this particular unit. Once again, there is a seat belt on here, so that seat belt is falling. There's no patient in the unit right now, so I'll go ahead and clip that back in here in a second. But that's what you're going to be looking like in a standing position. And now you are able to still drive this chair around while in a standing position. So that what makes this unit awesome, that even in a standing position, you are able to drive the chair. So let me get back into a seat mode, and then you can see how this chair will drive in the standing position. Once again, 265-pound weight capacity, so I would probably recommend somebody 240 and under for this particular type of chair. But once again, these are almost impossible to find. We've been looking for these chairs on the market now for a year, and this is the second one that I was able to find. So if you are in need of a standing chair, a mid-wheel drive, do definitely give us a call, because this will probably not be here more than a week. Do want to mention this unit does take 75 amp gel recessed post batteries. So most Permobils are going to be either the 60 amps or the 75 amp gel recessed post batteries. And we do sell those batteries, which are located on our website under the battery section. But we also sell batteries for most all other chairs on the market. So if you're in need of batteries, give us a call. We can ship those right to your home. So last function I want to look at and see is just the slight anterior tilt. So you have to basically get to a normal upright position and then hold the seat forward. But you can see, which I knew it would have a good degree of anterior tilt because it is a standing chair. So anterior tilt is useful to help somebody get out of the chair, not to fully stand, but to just get them at that forward tilted position. So I'm assuming this is probably going to be their maximum forward position of about 45 degrees, just based on it having the standing function as well. So this would be if you didn't have the chest bar or your knee brace and you wanted to kind of help assist to get out of the chair, this is what you'd be looking like. I guess it really is almost endless anterior tilt because it's going to have that, because that was more than 45 degrees. So I guess you could probably really get up to almost any anterior position, because then you're just going to pretty much go to the full standing position. But let me bring this back down and get it to an upright seated position, and we'll go over some more things on this chair. So by doing all that different things with the anterior tilt, it was kind of working in conjunction with the seat lift, the legs, the same way the standing function does. So this one, when I came back down in the regular position, it kind of put me in a little bit of a weird position. So I had to bring the back up and the legs in and the seat lift back down to get more of that upright seated position. So on this chair, You do have a joystick on the right hand side. It does have a swing away, so you're able to pull up closer to a table and also not have obstruction on the end of the arms if you want to push off your arms to get in and out of the chair. Once again, this chest brace very easily comes out, so I'll set this on the ground for now. And same with the knee block. This knee block comes off very easily as well and slides out. So once again, for the rest of this demonstration, I will take it off. I just wanted to show you how easy it was to be able to take that on and off of the unit. This actually has elbow guards in the back as well. So when you tilt back, most people's arms begin to slide. So that's going to prevent your arm from falling off the back end of the arm. Armrests flip up on either side if you do any slide transferring to get in and out of the unit. And then the joystick can either go on the right side like it is now or the left-hand side. Headrest back here, fully adjustable, 3 different position points, and I mean actually more, 4 different types of positioning points. You do have a built-in Allen wrench right here in the back of the chair as well. That's going to be able to adjust a lot of the different things on the chair itself. Headrest can come off, but most people are going to use the headrest based on the tilt position. 2 hooks back here in the back as well, so we do offer a backpack and other accessories for the unit that you're able to hook right here onto the back of the chair. On the base, you're going to have 4 tie-down points, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. So for transportation, such as Q-lock type straps, and you are able to put like an easy lock or a Q-lock on the bottom of one of these units if you have a conversion type van. Fantastic suspension, which you'll see here at the end of the video when I drive it around outside. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around to the front. Another thing I want to mention is before we ship these units out, we fit them to your size. So it does not matter if you are 5 feet at 100 pounds or you're 6'4" at that 240 range, what I would kind of recommend. We can fit this to your size. So when I go over the dimensions on this unit, don't think, oh, that's not my size. We fit this, we send a measuring chart out to you before we ship it, and then we fit this to your size. But just to give you a reference of what it's at now, it's set up at 20 inches wide by 20 inches deep. So probably somebody 6 foot, 200 pounds, somewhere in that range is kind of what would be a fitted size for them. This does have the nice 20-inch back on there. Want to let you know with a 20-inch back, that is going to put your armrests at about 28.5 inches to have clearance to go through a door frame. So another reference, just would make sense. But if you're at 28.5 here, you go down to an 18-inch back, now you're going to be 26.5. So based on what size back, that's how narrow we can make the arms. But the widest point, 28.5 inches with the current setup. It's got the nice breathable stretch air back on the unit, and the cushions are removable. So once again, we can adjust the pan and adjust the cushion to your size. Foot plates do flip up on either side for easy access to get in and out of the chair, but they do flip up individually as well. And then you have your calf pads. One more thing to show you on this chair, does have the full light package, actually good lights on these units. Not this kind of old school, small, crappy little LEDs. These are very good lights that will actually light up your path outside, not just a little bit inside your home. You are going to have on the unit also hazards, and you're going to have turn signals. So the turn signals are front and back on this particular chair. They have it programmed a little bit differently on theirs because they have different memory functions set up. So this one is going to have more or less the lights, and then also your hazards over here. One more thing to show you. A lot of people get confused with this. Your motors are actually located right here in the front. So you have this little knob here. A lot of people go ahead and push this in neutral by pushing the knobs towards the middle so they can roll the chair around. Downside is they forget to put them back in gear. The chair will not drive unless it's registering your motors, which have your electromagnetic brakes on them. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drive this outside, kind of show you the turning radius, the speed. So go ahead and follow me out there. This is the Permobil mid-wheel drive standing chair. I was going 6.3 miles an hour when I'm in the normal seated position. Once again, this is the diamond in the rough, needle in the haystack, whatever terminology you want to use, hardest chair to probably find on the market. It's only a 260-pound weight capacity, but will fully stand you up. Comes with the chest brace and the knee bar, knee block, excuse me, for when you're actually wanting to stand up on this. Newest electronics, 60 miles of total usage, so very minimally used on this chair. I'm gonna go ahead and raise the seat up now just to give you an overall speed when you're all the way in the elevated position. But don't forget, compatible with Q-lock, easy lock, Q-straints, so any type of docking device systems that are out there on the market, this is gonna be compatible with it as well. So now my seat is elevated, that 12-inch seat elevation. let's just go ahead and see. I was flirting with 3.1 to 3.2 miles per hour. But once again, this is probably the nicest power chair on the market to date. This chair will not be here, I guarantee you, longer than about a week. So if you are looking for one of these chairs, please give us a call right away. We would love to speak with you and get this chair fitted for your needs.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marc's Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.